Hi, hello, and welcome to a new episode of Release. I'm your host, Adriana, and I am so honored and grateful that you've taken the time to listen to what I have to say. Today, I'm outside, I'm under a gazebo. It might get a little bit noisy, but as usual, I really hope that you guys can hear me clearly. But for today's episode, I wanted to talk about how our society is always rushing. As soon as you get somewhere, there's no time to celebrate. It's always, we gotta go. Step one, step two, step three. Like, there's always something else. There's never a moment in time where you are allowed to really sit and reflect and absorb what's happening. So when I thought about talking about this, I wrote down, because normally when I write down my notes or stuff about or for the podcast, I just write down an idea in the note, just a few words. I used to do a whole script, but now I'm kind of following the flow of whatever comes out, because whatever comes out, I'm hoping will be, if it's relevant to me, I'm hoping that it's relevant to you. So for this episode, I opened the note and I just wrote, "What's the rush?" And that's going to be the title of this episode, and that's sort of how I've been feeling. Recently, I have been repeating the mantra, the affirmation, whatever you want to call it. The difference between an affirmation and a mantra, by the way, an affirmation is normally an I am statement. I am strong, I am beautiful. It affirms feelings about yourself, your environment, your situation, etc., etc. But a mantra is repeating that affirmation over and over again. So for me, this mantra has been everything is as it should be, because I've been kind of anxious recently. And when I do feel anxious, I remind myself that everything is as it should be. Everything is perfect in this moment. And any kind of stress that I feel, any kind of anxiety that I'm emitting, all this energy that I'm wasting, does not change the situation. So I can use that energy to be able to either direct the situation to a less stressful thing, or I can use some of that energy to kind of recalibrate and bring myself back to a baseline of calm, bring myself into a moment of mindfulness so I can remember I am here. I am here. That is all that matters. I am here. And even the other day, I was saying to myself that there are only 24 hours in a day. It doesn't matter how much I stress. It doesn't matter how much energy you put into your anxiety. There will still only be 24 hours in a day. You will still only have this limited amount of time to complete all of the things on your schedule. So it does not matter how much you're like, oh my God, I have a list of 1 million things to do. If midnight comes and you have only done 3 items, everything is as it should be. You only completed 3 items for that day. Tomorrow we'll work on the rest of our items. But for today, everything is as it should be, and we move on. For me, recently, I've been feeling that energy around me a lot, the energy of either it's the anxiety of, oh, I should be doing this or I should be doing that. I feel like a lot of people, especially now, September, I know obviously not everybody that is listening to this is going to be in school, but for all the people that are in school right now, there is this feeling, especially with post-secondary education. A lot of people are going to school and work, plus of course there are assignments, readings, projects, whatever it is else that's attached to school that you also have to do. Plus you have your social life, plus you have to sleep, Plus, you also have hobbies and stuff that you like to do that you want to be able to do. Of course, like, your life isn't only going to be work. The important thing that I'm learning and trying to maintain in my own life is that balance is key. And even though there are so many things that we have to accomplish, we have so many things pulling at our energy, we still need to remember that there has to be a moment during the day where you come back to center and you realign yourself and you rest, and you remember that you can't overextend yourself more than you can. When you keep extending yourself, you're going to reach burnout. You're going to get to a point where there is no more energy. It does not matter how much you push. There is going to be a threshold where you won't be able to complete any assignments. You'll want to call in sick for work. You won't want to socialize with people, not because you're lazy. It's because you're burnt out. It's because you need... This is also a dog park. So there are a lot of dogs and people running around, so you may hear voices and barks in the background. Just wanted to let you guys know. But you are not lazy. You are simply a human being that has overextended themselves, and now you need rest. Now you need a moment to come back, a moment to fill your own energy tank. And even with post-secondary education, it's sort of there's this weird standard. So most university programs, I can only speak from a university standpoint because that's the only standpoint that I currently know, but most courses are 5 years. But what they don't tell you is that it's normally not 5 years, normally 4 years. But what they don't tell you is that's normally the recommended, or like, I don't really know how to properly articulate it, but the only way that you can successfully complete your program in 4 years is if you are doing full-time throughout. And I am currently a full-time student, but full-time schedule, meaning you have 5 classes per semester, which means that you have 10 classes per year, which means by the end of the 4 years, you would have completed the 40 credits, which would make you able to graduate. But nobody factors in, maybe some people have to go to work to support themselves. Maybe people have other things that they have to do. Not everybody is able to take on a full five class semester. And personally, I didn't even learn about this really until I hit maybe third year, when they were saying that like most people spend 5 years in school. The majority of the people that graduate from post-secondary education normally spend a little bit longer at the institution, not because they aren't smart, or not because they're not going to class, or whatever they could be doing better. It's simply because there are different things that take up your time, and some people are parents. Some people have things that they just genuinely have to do. And a lot of the people that are able to do a full-time schedule are afforded the luxury of being able to complete school in 4 years. For those who can't do it in 4 years, simply because you think, okay, 4 days of class a week is enough for me. And that's also a valid reason. Giving yourself 1 day of the week to rest is not a crime. putting in your rest time into your schedule is not a crime. You need to rest. You are human. And with my own, I just wanted to remind you of that, because I feel like a lot of the times people forget that we are humans and we have our own, like I've been saying, I've been recording for 10 minutes and I feel like I've said something about limitations about 3 times, but it's very important to remember that we are humans with our limitations. And I'm not saying not to strive for excellence. I'm just saying that being able to book in time where you only focus on yourself is very, very important. And I understand that that may be a luxury for some people, but your time for yourself doesn't have to be a whole day. Your time for yourself could be, okay, in the morning, I'm going to just spend an hour with Spirit, with whatever your Godhead that you, whatever Godhead, whatever religion you subscribe to, if you're not religious, whatever spirit. And if you don't believe in any sort of religious or spiritual anything, just taking some time in the morning for yourself to do what you like. For me, when I wake up in the morning, I have my morning routine. And of course, that routine differs based on how much time I have in the morning, what time I wake up, what I have to do that day. But I make sure, even though when I wake up, I want to start my day, I want to go, I want to start doing all these things that are going to prepare me for my day. This is also going to prepare you for your day. This moment of tranquility is going to prepare you for your day. For me, when I wake up in the morning, now that today is the first day of fall. Today is the first day of fall. I just remembered that I'm looking at all of the trees changing. Today's the first official day of fall. So we are approaching winter, which means I won't be able to do this anymore. But normally my morning routine starts with me opening my window, taking in some fresh air into the room, bringing in some light, and then brush my teeth. I drink some water. I go back to my room and I make my bed. And then depending on how much time I have, I do yoga and meditate, or I just meditate, or I do a shower meditation. And then I journal. That's also depending on how much time I have. Normally during that, I light some incense, and I just sort of take that time to set my intentions for the day, set my energy for the day. You can't just go into the day feeling so like for me, that moment is kind of bringing my energy down to baseline. So if somebody gets me angry, or if somebody is angry around me, I am less likely to kind of, butt heads with them, because their energy is at a 10 and my energy is at a 5, and I'm chilling. So then when they start pushing that 10 up, I'm kind of watching them, and I might be getting a little bit angry. My energy state may change, but I'm not because they're starting at a 10 and I'm starting at a 5. So if we add 2 to both of our emotional dispositions, our feelings, that person is going to be at a 12 and I'm going to be at a 7. Those are not the same thing. Those feelings are not the same thing. So I just find it really important to start my day like that for my own benefit. And normally when I start like that, I feel so happy. I feel so content to start my day, because I remember that even if the day is on Thursdays, I have a very long schedule. Tomorrow's Thursday. So my regular day starts, my regular Thursday. I get up depending on how much time I have. Like I just said, I do my routine, and then I have class at 8:30. I have 2 classes on Thursday. My classes start at 8:30 and we end with our school day at 2:30. And then between 2:30 and 5, maybe I find like something to eat. Maybe I try to do some schoolwork, whatever I have, maybe some preparation for school tomorrow. And then I have work from 5 to 10:30. It's a full day of things happening, and it's very overwhelming, and it involves travel time, and it involves coffee, and it involves feeling very tired for most of the day. But again, I remind myself, there are only 24 hours in the day. I cannot work more than after that 10:30. The day's over. 10:30 will come. Unless I die at 10:29, 10:30 will come and the day will end, and I will be able to go home and sleep in because I start late. I start my class late on a Friday, so I can get home, I can sleep, if I want to do a night routine, I can do a night routine, do some stretching, maybe a prayer, go to bed, start again at square one the next day. But even we can move it away from the school sphere, because of course not everybody is going to school. Even in your everyday life, developmental tasks. So even as a child, a lot of people say, oh, my child is 2 and he's not walking, my child is 2 and he's not talking, blah, 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 they're not talking. When a child is born, they are given developmental, let's call it a checklist. So I don't know like the actual age and activity, but we're just going to give examples. So let's say they're going to say by 7 months you're supposed to be eating solid food. So by 6 months, they're supposed to be weaned off of breast milk. And then by 1, they're supposed to be walking. By 1.5, they're supposed to be talking. By this age, they're supposed to be able to do whatever. And of course, this list can be very detailed. It can be very vague, but there are general guidelines of what you are quote unquote expecting your child to do when they reach a certain age. So when your child reaches 2 and they're not talking and they're not walking, you're like, what's wrong with my child? I feel like a lot of people, I have a friend that has a baby, and her baby is 3 now, and he isn't talking or walking, and it is a concern for her. But he's alive, and regardless of if he's talking or walking, are his basic needs not met? Is he not eating? Is he not drinking? Is he not able to excrete his bowels by himself? Is he not able to express to you what he wants without words? There's nothing wrong with a child. I simply despise saying that a person is disabled. I like the term differently abled, because just because you can't run or you can't speak or you can't do something that society deems necessary to be human does not make you less human. Just because you can't draw doesn't make you less of a human. Other people can draw. There are a lot of people that draw with pencils, and it is so realistic. There are some people that can't even draw a stick figure, but that doesn't make them less of a human because they can't do an elegant drawing that isn't necessary to exist as a human. And of course, this exists outside of just developmental guidelines and schooling, this is also a very persistent theme in society and in media. A lot of the times on social media, the things that will go viral are people that do amazing things, which we of course love. But you'll see, a 16-year-old has a business, a 20-year-old is headlining shows, and it goes on and on and on. And then, even if it is subconsciously, we begin to compare ourselves and our own lives to these people that we are exposing ourselves to. So a lot of people will be like, I'm 20, and the most that I have done is, I don't know, let's say the most I've done is just regular life, whatever they consider regular life. That's all they've done. Like, they don't see anything noteworthy or great about their lives in that moment. But I find it really, really, really interesting that these are normally there are just cases of these things. Like, it's only such a small percentage of people that really get to that place that young. But because we are able, even if there are only 10 out of 100 people under the age of 25 that let's say there are only 10 out of 100 people every year under the age of 25 that blow up in the music industry or the entertainment industry or the film industry or whatever the case may be. But 10 out of 100 is 10%. There are still 90% of people under 25 who are not doing those things, and you are a part of that 90%, and you make up the majority. These people are a minority. These people that are showing you these things on social media. And we can even move away from just people who are being reported on. We can watch the way that people report their own lives. So you'll see a lot of people being like, I'm in Dubai. Like, they're models in Dubai. They're doing all of these extravagant things. They have sugar daddies, whatever the case may be. But you see a life that you begin to feel... it's the beginning of envy and jealousy, of course. And it seems much easier for our society to be envious and jealous than to be happy for someone and then move along to their own path. Not everybody has the same path, obviously. We're not the same people. We were not put on this earth to do the same things, which means that we can't all be that person that is... We can use Billie Eilish. I think she's 21, or she's turning 21 this year, and everybody knows her name. She is selling out shows, she's selling out albums, she's doing this, she's doing that, whatever. I found out about Billie when I was in high school, so she might have been 17 or 16 at the time, and she had her EP out, and people kind of knew about her, but nobody was really like fangirling over her the way they are now. But when I saw that she was really, really blowing up and I saw her name everywhere, I was like, good for her. I felt this kind of joy to say that someone that I've been thinking like, damn, this person has really good music. I'm so glad that she has expanded herself, or she has been expanded or exposed, or whatever you want to say, that the world has caught on to the beauty of her music. And now I don't really listen to her that much anymore, but of course you can put other people into you put other people into that category. There's that person that you knew about, that thing that you liked, and it blew up, and you were I don't know what feelings you had towards it. A lot of people feel like annoyed because they're like, no, everybody's going to talk about it now. It's going to be a part of pop culture now. People are going to shit on it. They won't understand it, whatever. The same with Euphoria. When Euphoria came out, I was in love. I watched the first season probably 6 times, and then season 2 came out, and it was like the whole world was watching it. It was like a social media phenomenon. They were calling the release day on Sundays Euphoria Day, and everybody would basically, all of the people that liked Euphoria would basically gather around the screen and watch the show when it aired. And then Twitter was full of spoilers and takes and whatever. That was a sidetrack. But all of that to say that what is presented to us isn't always the full truth. You don't know how long Billie spent writing songs and never getting noticed. You don't know how long. She may not be the best example of this, but there are a lot of people that spend so long, and it's not only in the music industry. There are so many people that pour their hearts and souls into their art, and they are never noticed. And then when they're noticed, everyone's like, oh, this person is doing all of these great things. Wow, I'm envious of them. I feel like the feeling should be, I'm really happy for them. You may not know their story, but you still be happy for them. And even past that, it's like when you see the models in Dubai, like I mentioned before, or people going around the world, people doing all of these things. There was a story about the women, the models in Dubai, going and showing off all of these things that they're getting when or it was just one girl. She allowed a man to poop in her mouth. But these are like the low valleys that people will go to, and the shit that they will take, pun intended, in order to have something that they believe that they have to have, that they believe that it just has to be a part of their lifestyle. And of course, that goes for many things, and I'm sure you have many examples of people that you may know, that you see online, and they're showing you their extravagant life when you know about their life in reality, and it is nothing like that. And social media does not show you what's actually happening. Social media doesn't show you, or people don't choose to post the stress, the pain. They don't choose to show you all of the things they get through to get to that point. They only show you the point and onwards, which I feel like is very important. There's always a starting point, and the point that they show you is normally never the starting point. It's very, very important to remember. But back to our topic, I feel like with all of these things, society, social media, entertainment, whatever it is, we feel like by a certain age we have to get somewhere. We feel like, let's use university or post-secondary. I have to start post-secondary at 18, graduate at 22. A lot of us, when we were younger, we were like, by 25 we're going to be married, which for a lot of people, they hit 22, 23, and they're like, there's no fucking way that by 25 I'm going to be married. And of course, the list goes on. There's certain things that you believe that you should be doing by a certain age, when in reality, there is no rush. Everything is as it should be. Even in the small things, in my day-to-day life, let's say I miss the bus. Let's say that I'm trying to listen to music and it's not working. Let's say that I'm trying to open a file and it's not opening. Whatever the case may be. It is Mercury retrograde, so technical difficulties are going to ensue. But regardless of that, technical difficulties exist just because technology is man-made and it is not perfect. But when those things happen, I simply just think, okay, not right now. It is for the universe, it is, or the way I feel it is, it's never a no. It's just a not right now or a redirection. Because the universe, I don't think, will ever say no to something that you desire. There's a reason why you desire it, right? So I feel like it's more along the lines of, okay, no, we're not going to take the bus right now. I know that you have to get to work, but let's take the bus 10 minutes later. Because the one that comes 10 minutes before is actually going to have a flat tire. And then if you take that one, you're going to be an hour late to work. And your head manager is actually there. And he's actually not in a good mood. So if you go to work 10 minutes late, you may walk in and he may fire you. Simple. Obviously, that is not going to be revealed to you in that moment. It's just going to be, okay, no, cool. Not right now. I missed the bus. For me, nothing really, there's not really any kind of like bothersome feeling or like worried feeling that fills me when things don't go my way. Because what even is my way? The only way that I should be striving for is what the universe wants for me, because I don't know what the fuck is going on. All I need to do is take a step. If that step is blocked, I move to the left, I move to the right, I might take a step back and reevaluate, and I may take a new road altogether. But the point is, you should never force anything. Just because something has not worked out right now, and it has not worked out for you the way it has worked out for others, does not mean it is not for you, does not mean it will not come to you. And we need to remember that jealousy and envy are not going to let those things come to you faster. It is important for you to, if somebody does something and you see, and that may be a goal of yours, but they get to it before you, you feel genuinely, you want to be able to feel. Obviously, this isn't going to just be like an automatic thing, but our goal is not to feel jealousy or envy, but to feel joy for that person, to share in their joy. We're all one. Share in whatever feeling they're feeling. Congratulate people. Whatever it is, share some sort of, put out some sort of love energy. Because again, that person's journey is not yours. Maybe a year from now, the same thing is going to happen to you. Maybe 2 months from now, something even more amazing than what you were being envious of is going to happen to you. And the universe responds to envy and jealousy just like it responds to gratitude and love. It's important to observe our emotions. Why do you feel like you have to be jealous when you see that your friend gets a promotion? Why do you have to feel jealous if you see someone in a relationship on TikTok? Just because your friend gets a promotion before you doesn't mean you're not next in line. Just because you see a bunch of relationships on TikTok doesn't mean that you aren't going to be in a relationship soon. Again, what's being shown isn't always what the reality is. So it's important for us to remember that there is no rush. Just like there are only 24 hours in a day, even though we don't know the end of how long we're going to live for. Whenever that time comes, it's going to be the end of our lives. Whether we like it or not, it doesn't matter how much we fight. When the last grain of sand from your hourglass falls out, that's the end of this life, of this current existence. And you can't expand past that. It doesn't matter how much envy, how much jealousy, how much hurt you harbor for people. It doesn't matter how much anxiety you have. It doesn't matter how much you overextend yourself. The end is still going to be the end. So why are you stressing? There's no need to stress. When a moment of anxiety comes over you, all you need to do, or what I do, you can try it. You can put both your hands over your heart or do it over the center of your chest, and then deep inhale. Feel that breath. Or you can even try putting your hand on your stomach and you can feel your tummy expand. And then you exhale and you can feel it suck back in, and you can continue to do that. You feel the life within you. What matters right now is that you are here, and you have, as long as you are alive, there is an opportunity for you to be able to be better and do better and achieve more and love more and find all of the beautiful things of your heart. But right now is all that matters, and you are safe and you are here, and life continues on. Even if you stress, life continues on. And I think that's all I have to say for today. Thank you guys for listening. As usual, I love you guys so much. Make sure that you are taking time to relax. Make sure you're taking time to do the things that you enjoy doing. And now that school is in session and work and life is sort of speeding up again and coming back to some sense of normalcy, remember that you do not need to overextend yourself. Do as much as you can and take a break. The reason why you're feeling stressed is because your body is saying, hey, this is a lot of things happening. And yes, stress can be good. But remember, everything will happen as it should. All is as it is, and all is as it should be. And as I just said, I love you guys so much. Bye.